Today, as you may have heard, is the Ex-Hakuho's birthday. It was greeted with the usual adulation from his cult-like entourage, but also with headlines on what those who don't love him now plan to do. A list of possible sanctions has been presented to sumo chiefs for review by discussion leader Asakayama, the most likely of which appears to be wrestlers to Oshima stable and Ex-Hakuho banished to Isegahama. Now, quite what he's expected to learn in a building in which he can't possibly live and whose master is soon to change anyway is hardly crystal clear. There is no way we will be closing Miyagino stable, Coach Asakayama insists, but his team is mooting a temporary closure for 1 to 2 years a la Kisei stable in 2010. Ex-Hakuho himself, by the way, is still in charge of looking after the journalists who must report on him. It's amazing that sumo chiefs see no conflict of interest in that. The comments about him yesterday by those who must meet him face to face were overwhelmingly nice. And what one smart sumo writer asked him to do was ensure that all his former charges turned up to explain their states of mind. So here's what Miyagino stable wrestlers currently have to say. Second tier Hakuho. Granted, it's an unusual situation, but my daily duties haven't changed. All I do is the sumo. There's no point thinking of things outside that. As head wrestler now, I'll try to lead the boys as best I can. And I want to give something back to Master Miyagino. And Master Tamagaki, who had nothing to do with initial events, but now has to live with us all the time and refrain from going out himself. I have nothing but appreciation for my 2 masters right now. Third tier Otani. We certainly feel more eyes upon us this time, so we better be doing a proper job. I and several others are anxious about the future, but we are Team Miyagino, and we must spur each other on. Third tier Tenshoho. Today was just the usual, really. I lost the bout through failing to keep up with my opponent's feet. Fourth tier Ishii. Coach Tamagaki told me that all I can do as a wrestler is move the fans and enhance their sumo dreams. There's nothing we can do about the overall situation. All I can do is train. Fourth tier Onokura. I think I'm fairly focused, but my mental state is kind of hanging by a thread. I get so mad about fake internet news. These people know nothing of the real situation. Fourth tier Kenyu. I can't speak entirely for my younger colleagues, but to my eyes, they look down. It's not about scores this time, really. It's just about getting through this as one and looking good before Master Miyagino. Fifth tier Takemaru. Given that there were rumors we would not even be allowed in, I'm just pleased to be able to fight. As for Hokuseiho, well, I hope he reflects on what he did, but he's history now. Fifth tier Kudokage. I was planning to quit after May, but have now brought that forward to March. It's my last event, and I want to end with a winning score. I try not to let the curfew situation get to me. I just play cards or video games in the stable camp. Now, according to some news outlets, he can't be the only one quitting. And their reasoning is as follows. Right now, no one stable seems big enough to accommodate all of Miyagino's men. The only way such a move can happen is if several of them quit. And as a sumo neutral, I'd be particularly concerned about the futures of Enho and Kiho, both of whom were supposed to be back this time. Given what their colleagues have told us here, they may well be facing unique motivational issues. Namely, if we're not allowed to do it for the man for whom we would run through brick walls, what is the bleeding point? Remember, Enho's only reason for coming back is to try and secure that one extra tournament at salaried level to qualify him for Elder Stock. A mountain to climb even with cult-like devotion, let alone without. 6th tier Nishikiori. Wherever I end up, a sumo stable is a sumo stable. I'll just have to keep fitting in. We're in this predicament because one guy stepped out of line. He's to blame, no one else. What neither he nor anyone else can openly explain, though, is that there clearly is a set list of sumo punishments, or at least stable punishments, which every wrestler accepts as part of sumo life, no matter how at odds with the outside world those punishments may be. Even punishments inside that sumo line probably shouldn't be there. But will we ever get to that discussion? Now, those wrestler comments were made on Sunday, by the way. Today, Miyagino's Mongolian recruit made his official debut, 14 months after his leading role at his master's retirement event. His name in Mongolian means Holy Sea, ocean, not papal, and he's therefore been given the humble ring name of Holy Hakuho. Boy, does the cult remain unbroken. And how about this for an extra twist, reported just hours ago? Sumo insiders are claiming that this highly talented youngster had actually agreed terms with Oshima Stable before a last-minute Miyagino intervention. Coach Oshima was so incensed by that, he called time on his 2-decade friendship with Miyagino, only relenting after a grovelling apology from the latter. And now it seems that Mongolian lad will join him at Oshima Stable, minus Coach Miyagino. It's the type of poetic justice this man would surely applaud.